Stand to McWarriors and welcome back to another episode of RogueTech as we get into the campaigns of Howl's Harrows. And last time, well, we managed to finally finish up the Avatar. It is done, it has been completed. The final version, at least I think the final version, is now out of the hangar and ready to rock and roll. And with that in mind, still the prototype. We've learned that the local pirate organization here in Hough has been busy working on a new water filtration technology, which is both extremely valuable and likely to shift the balance of power in the region by opening up more worlds for colonization. We've discovered that they're working on the latest prototype. We know that they are monitoring the location of our own mechs in the area, so we need a mercenary lance to make a vanguard assault and catch them by surprise. We'd like to take over the facility with the local government forces. So this will be a 5 of 21 priority salvage against pirate forces, 378,800 seables at 3.5 skulls, and we're bringing a couple of new weapon systems to the table. So this will be our own little testing prototype phase. However, I have already kind of worked up a little bit of a modification to one of the mechs that we're dropping down that is going to be brand new today, so I don't know how long it'll be outside the hangar, depending on how things work out. Alright, so first things first, Jester is in our Avatar. Oh, it's such a lovely model. Even though it's in the pouring rain. The Avatar is, of course, equipped with 2 medium laser diverse optics, which are always built into the center torso, which kind of limits some of your options as to what to do with the center torso, but it gives you a nice little bonus to having a pair of medium lasers, as well as a pair of Risk Autocannon 5 rotaries, which is fun. I have placed my best gunner pilot, which would be Jester, at a 10 with his -2 recoil control, plus a whole bunch of recoil control gear, such as his weapon mount upper recoils, or such as the upper recoils, as well as the flak system. Or do I not have a sense of? Oh, the fire control system flak was at the bottom of the list. So hopefully that'll help keep things mostly under control for a little while. But yeah, this Avatar is brand new, and hopefully it doesn't explode. It is packing an Inner XL engine, so we're just going to have to deal with that as it comes up. Anyway, Paradox is in the Warhammer. The Warhammer is our classic design, hasn't changed much. I kind of think that it's a little bit weaker than it otherwise needs to be, but modifications to that design are going to have to wait until later. Mockingbird is bringing Kerensky's stick. This was an Orion that we captured quite a while ago. We managed to get it fully operational, rocking and rolling, and it is equipped, as you can see, with 2 heavy MRM-30s and a HAG, a Hyper Assault Gauss rifle, for maximum extra fun. The Hyper Assault Gauss rifle combines sort of with the HAG to be just a massive blistering array of many projectiles hitting different locations on a mech. We get to the side of something, it's going to dig like it's nobody's business. We've already had a pretty decent amount of experience with a twin heavy MRM-30 catapult, and this is basically the next version up. The modification that we may end up doing to it, however, is we may end up taking this HAG out and replacing it with a Clan Ultra Autocannon 20, or Ultra Autocannon 10, which I have the room for. I already tested it out to make sure, but it would take us like 4 days and 500,000 seables, so not right now, but that is a possible upgrade. Howl is in her Timberwolf, which is currently melding into a Warhammer to form a Warwolf, or a Timberhammer. Interesting design there. But twin Gauss rifles and the 6 medium lasers. Death Crusade in the Lament with its ER-PPCs. Finn in the Catapult 3 with the Risk MML-20s for the overheat. And Coach in the large pulse laser equipped catapults. So let's rock and roll. See if we can't get in on top of the target and annihilate them with all of the heavy firepower. So Kerensky's stick has been basically a hangar queen for the past several months, I believe. It's been quite a few episodes, I know for a fact, that it's just been sitting there taunting me the entire time as we've rebuilt and recovered and kept going back at it. But I have been looking forward to finally be able to field this thing, even though it is an Orion. I think it's a pretty solid version of an Orion. So that's kind of my hope there. I'm kind of hoping that lightning is going to strike in the bottle again, because the last time I threw twin heavy MRM onto something, it worked out phenomenally. The Avatar, on the other hand, has not been on repair for nearly as long, however, has several considerable weaknesses which concern me greatly. The biggest weakness, of course, being its Inner Sphere XL engine. That Inner Sphere XL engine means that if any side torso goes, the whole mech goes up, and I can't replace the engine because it's an Inner Sphere Omni mech. But I did request that the mech be included, so I can't very well not use it. So it's just going to require a little bit of work on our part to hopefully keep alive and intact. Oh, we have a line of sight already. Lovely. Oh, we can see the turret from here. It's an AC-20 precision and 2 SRM-6s. So let's engage for maximum range with triple ER-PPC and hit him all 3 times. Lovely. We may actually be able to kill him if we just keep up a fairly decent number of shots. So we'll go slightly off the road here just to take aim. 32s are not great. Missed them both times, but we missed by -2, so once again, we have discovered maths, which apparently allow for such things to happen. I really don't want to well, actually, no, we're at the range where it's kind of okay. Yeah, we may as well. We'll get some pressure down. After all, he's not going to be in range of anybody next round. And we have successfully stripped the armor off of the heavy shredder turret. That'll be lovely. Coach, if you can then come in with your catapult, if you have a range, I would have been really surprised. Really happy, but really surprised. He's equipped with large pulse lasers, so you can't really expect him to do that sort of thing. He's got several really nice large pulse lasers, actually. But if we can kill that turret, that'd be lovely. The Warhammer may actually be the thing that we need to murder it. I kind of want to fire my my silver blick house, but don't break the gun, please. You hit it a couple of times, but nothing really all that good. Please tell me you didn't break the gun on top of it, though, because that's going to be important to me. Okay, good. The gun's not broken. We'll have to keep that in mind, because if the gun explodes, then life is not as happy as it once was. Unfortunately, we're not going to be in range with the rotary AC-5s. I think they would have probably been a perfect test run just to blitz everything at a turret. I do think we brought enough ammunition in order to keep those guns running, though. I'm going to have to double check to see exactly what number we're looking at, though. Slip on over here. Oh, the hag is in range, so let's open fire with it. Perfect. And that's why we brought the hag. Because it's a weapon system that sort of meshes with the medium-ish range on the heavy MRMs. Oh, we've got lots of incoming thunderbolts. That's not fun. So are you a thunderbolt carrier? And a turret equipped possibly with either ultra autocannons or rotary autocannons? So that's good kit to steal, and that's artillery. So we're dealing with some really interesting stuff now. Alright, so we have a full-on thunderbolt. A Thunderstruck, which is equipped with a TBM-30 Pirate High Explosive. It's basically a rotary autocannon, but for Thunderbolts, which is fun. Also, an LRM-5, not too interested in that, but the Narc Beacon could be a problem with it. Sniper artillery piece, which if it hits, it'll rip big holes in, and the Hellstorm artillery replacement, which apparently fires like a rotary autocannon. So that'll be something interesting maybe we'll want to steal sometime in the near future. Let's just rush on forward, see what we can't do with various lines of sight. Neither of them are particularly good. However, your frontal armor is almost non-existent. How's your target lock going now? No visual, move, sprinted to max range, and for you, we're dealing with max range, sprinted, move, no visual. So same errors that we're dealing with. So the sensor systems don't really care. I'm going to lay down a sensor lock on top of you because you may have moved recently, and if that's the case, I'd like to be able to kill you. Also, I do want to kill that sniper replacement, but we're probably going to have to suffer through a little bit of fire for the next little while. A decent number of hits actually onto the target, so that's probably stripped away most of his armor at this point. Although the Lament is probably going to be the big swinging stick in this whole show, because that's what it normally does. I will actually move it right here, because I'm more worried about the, oh yeah, anything you want. Just name it, you can kill it. You could absolutely annihilate him. So you know what, we will actually go with the department of I need to murder something, and you happen to be at triple PPC. We hit him twice. We penetrated his armor twice, but it's two separate locations, so he's not quite dead. I do, however, need to get just one more shot on target, and that'll be lovely. Rushing the catapult on in, not exactly the best angle that I could ever want, but this should hopefully wipe him out. Yeah, 17 health on the forward armor. We'll give him everything we got. And there we go. Okay, we took out one of them. That's the pirate support lance, or at least part of it. So 25% of the defensive turrets, 25% of the pirate support lance. Now we've got to deal with the rest of the crew, which is not going to be particularly pleasant, let me tell you. 61% is actually fairly good, so I'm going to actually Warlord it for maximum punch through. Do 164 damage if we hit both times. We did not. We only hit the one, but we're now starting to work our way in. Enemy phase on 17. We got a Yunlo Wang. That's a Centurion, isn't it? I think the Yunlo Wang is a Hero Centurion. I didn't think it was an internal combustion engine, but apparently that's the case. Mockingbird in Kerensky's stick. If you could just get within, well, heavy MRM range actually would be ideal, but you're probably not there yet. No. Actually, yeah, AC-20 and Jackhammer and Flamer. Okay, yep, that's the Yunlo Wang. Alright, so we're going to nail him. We'll deal another 100 damage onto the target, but I will actually increase that a little bit more by going full Warlord, because I'd like to remove the sniper from the board. Oh yeah, really good hits on that one. If we had managed to double tap with the Gauss rifles, we may have actually killed him. Unfortunately, it was not to be. Jester, where's your avatar? Get your avatar in range? No, I want Jester's avatar. I require the avatar. Apparently the avatar is still not in range. I thought AC-5 set a longer range than this.
No target.
Nope, no target on this one. Gonna have to wait just a little bit longer until we can actually start getting some rotaries down. Because I really want to get them on the target. I want to see what they'll do both at range, and I also want to see what they'll do once we get to them. So a little bit of scatter ammunition dropping down. We're starting to take a lot of shaving hits, which is a little bit of a bummer, but kind of to be expected, unfortunately. It's one of the reasons why this game becomes a little bit more difficult when you play with the larger number of units. Okay, so I'm firing over your head. I'd appreciate it if we didn't hit our friends on this one. I don't have a penetration on this one, so I'm going to switch this back to a standard mode. We will go with the Warlord for the increased damage on this, and see if you can hit the sniper. Yeah, hit it both times and broke it. Nice job. Okay, so the sniper turret's now offline. We don't have to worry about that at all, but we still have to worry about the Hellstorm, who managed to miss and hit, which is always a fascinating setup. But we're feeling inspired, so that's a 5% bonus to accuracy. The catapult trace I want to reserve. And the reason why I want to reserve it because he's not going to be all that great at punching holes in things, but will be very good at following up holes being punched in things. So we got a Yenlo Wang and a Centurion, which I believe the Yenlo Wang is a Centurion, so dealing with that. Yeah, the accuracy is pretty bad, but you broke the gun, so I can actually play some games with you. Is this a sensor problem? Long range... No, it is not a sensor problem. It's just an obstructed shot. As long as it's an obstructed shot. We want to put some pressure on him. I don't want him getting too close to me, after all. He does have... Well, both of them have AC-20s, which is not exactly what we want to be dealing with. Come right over here for the top-down shot. And as much as I'd love to take you reasonably intact, I'm going to attempt to blow you into little tiny smithereens. Triple piece PC on the follow-up, managed to hit 2 of them. I missed with the third, which is really unfortunate, because we were almost perfect accuracy on that one. Or at least should have been. 77% or so, which at this range is just rather hilarious, actually. One of the Centurions shifting on forward, firing his swarm LRMs, scattering all around the catapult, but nothing too serious so far. Actually feeling kind of okay on that one. Jester, hi, can you actually get a line of sight on this one? I'm working on it, dude. Oh, that's what I'm looking for. That's all that I'm looking for. How's the other one? Okay, let's go kill this thing. Just right off the bat. I would like this thing to no longer be standing, and I also just want to check. You should be below me, right? Let's hope for it. 45 times 12 is going to be 450 something damage. Do I Warlord? I think I'm going to Warlord. Just for the giggles. Let it run. That was the most gorgeous sound I've heard this game ever make. Now, did you jam the guns? You're the Timberwolf. You did not. Yes! We have created a monster. At least I hope it's going to be a monster. It should be hopefully a good fire support platform. I was getting a little worried when we couldn't actually hit the broadside apart with it. Your AC-20 is dangerous to me. So I'm just going to lob a couple of shells at you. Missed by 3 and 6%. That's really good, actually. If you're going to miss, you may as well miss small. Right. Kerensky's stick. I was about to say Marensky's stick because she's Mockingbird. Do I have a direct line of sight right there. It should... Oh, it's going to be everything. Alrighty. Enjoy. The first full test of Kerensky's stick. That is about what I had expected. Good job there. That was beautiful. Alright, so on to the next target. I think I want to position myself about so, just so I can sort of aim down on him. He doesn't actually have anything. Oh, you hit him with a large laser. He's actually fairly decent with that large laser. It's the other weapons that he's not so good with. But the large laser seems to do alright with. Oh, we got a little bit of a fire started by the catapult, but that's fine. We shouldn't have to worry too much about that. Speaking of, let's rush the catapults on forward. We'll be able to get in range. Oh, we have a second target. A Prowler multi-terrain vehicle. That's kind of disappointing. I'm just going to chill. Let the temperature cool down. The mech is a little bit toasty, and I don't have a pilot who has has the 10% boost, I don't think. I can move you in, and that actually should give me some really nice accuracy. Confirmed. Hi, what are we doing in terms of turrets? Nothing else on sensors. That's actually kind of surprising to me. Okay, I could probably knock you over if I wanted. I could also nail you with some pretty serious firepower. If I switched over to SRMs, I might have a chance of killing you. So I'm going to actually go for that chance. I'll keep the list and kills. How much health do you have in the forward armor? It's got to be tight, but it's possible.
Roger that.
So we'll flood him with missile fire. Got some penetrating hits on him, so he's now vulnerable if anybody wants to just aim off in his direction. If we'd gotten a lucky crit, he would have shattered himself. Unfortunately, it was not to be. We'll shift on forward. The Lament should be able to fully take care of it. He's only got a jackhammer. I don't think I have all that much to worry about with him, so I'm just going to keep the pressure on this Prowler multi-terrain vehicle. We missed with 2 and hit none of them. That's unfortunate. Coach, bring your catapult forward. You are kind of tailor-made to do exactly this sort of precision work against targets who are very aggressive and maneuverable. I really just want to shoot you because I want to see if I can't steal parts to this. There's nothing special on it, but a little bit that can help. Still didn't kill you. That's actually pretty impressive. Radical prototype double heatsink kicking on in order to keep the temperature back under control where it needs to be. We're just going to make sure that we don't get too close to the yellow wang. That's going to be sort of our trick on this one, because we do get too close and just unfortunately will happen. There we go. No more prowler. So he was not part of the support lance, but I would like to bring Kerensky's stick into range as soon as we can to target the yellow wang, because there happens to be a secret on Kerensky's stick. It is designed to be the ultimate weapon in all realms of combat, and to that end we have equipped it with Inferno, Incendiary, MMLs. I'm going to shut off the Gauss rifle. We're just going to let it see what we can do in terms of temperature here. We're still going to be dealing a fairly significant amount of damage, but yeah, light him up. Maximum heat, 147, and he bails. Yep. Oh god, that mech is proving to be everything that I had always hoped it would be. I had plans for it, and those plans are coming to fruition. Alright, there is still one more turret somewhere off in the corner. Where is this turret? I've only killed 2 turrets, haven't I? I thought I had only killed two turrets. I need to figure out a way to get down and over there, which I think will be better served by driving in this direction. Or is this just a full-on cliff face? It's either that or she is blocking the only path on down. So we're going to rush him into the water and get ready for the Lament to move on up, but this will also allow the Lament to fully chill out, which is always lovely. Oh, we have a target. The turret up here has identified itself to be a light standard turret. Do you have a line of sight? You do with the ER large laser, but it's not a particularly good shot, so I'm actually going to try and push a little bit closer, see if he can't just continue to shoot on up to you. 20%, yeah, blast away. Missed by only 7%, so that is actually really good again. So we've been missing by very narrow margins, which is not terrible. The catapult can shift over into the water as well. It won't have the range in order to do anything to that turret, but we will be able to chill completely out. Now, are you blocking the path for everybody? You were. Okay, right. That makes sense. Is that path up there? I don't know. I am going to try and flank her around to the right side, so I'm going to basically ignore trying to get the Timberwolf onto target at this moment. The Avatar, however, if you can get a line of sight on the thing, if you can see it, then that might work out quite nicely. Is there actually a path up here? I think that's a path up there. It's a little bit unclear. So, you know what? Yeah, we'll run for the path. The Avatar is not the fastest of Mech. It's got decent speed on it, but it's not like zipping along at 1,000 miles an hour. Kerensky's stick, however, does have a line of sight, which is just beautiful. So, sure, go right there. Aim on up. It's a 50%. Firing a lot of clusters into his back. And it has a large laser, which is now attempting to light a fire. They've decided that they don't want us to get our hands on the top secret prototype water treatment facility and would rather burn the entire forest down, which is clearly what the plan currently is. I'm just going to run on forward, see if I can't get my large pulse lasers. The accuracy is garbage. Is this a max range height? Yeah, the height is just making things so hard. It's 3 energy and a machine gun. Yeah, that's not going to help me at all, so just fire. Oh wow, quite a few hits actually, despite like a 12% accuracy. I can't complain about that one at all. We'll make the walk to hopefully improve our accuracy. Hits the 30%. Still managed to nail twice, and we're through the armor now. So yeah, starting to make some pressure on there. We'll follow right up behind with the catapult. That way we can hopefully get through that Inferno before too much trouble happens, and I won't have to worry about it in the future. Continue to sprint. Could come over here to shoot from long range. I kind of doubt she's actually going to have a fairly decent shot at this or not. But I suppose we may as well try to knock these things out. Did hit with one of the gas stoves, so great accuracy across the entire line so far on trying to actually annihilate these turrets. And I will have a line of sight. The question will be, is it a safe line of sight to take? 30%. I'm spitting 12 rounds. 30% was 4 hits, so not bad. And you didn't shoot the catapult in the back, right? Yeah, perfectly fine. How's your gun? Maybe jammed them both. Well, it worked out. It all worked out in the end. So now we'll just sort of get on into the water and prepare ourselves to crest the ridge to secure the research facility that will fall into our hands without too much more trouble. Yeah, we've got quite the little traffic jam over here on the left side. We're going to have to hopefully swoop everybody on in before it becomes too much of a pain. And you'll actually move right there into the water. That way, hopefully, you don't block Howl, because I think Howl may actually run in front of you. Death Crusade's Lament will continue its pressure on forward. And again, you're not going to block the path. I'll move you slightly to the side. Coach. Yes, and his catapult will get out of the way, and that will secure that. Alright, we have a good view of the research facility, which I imagine they will now attempt. Yeah, the base emplacements about those. I anticipate there will be reinforcements showing up rather shortly, so we are going to sort of want to get our forces back together, especially if we can sort of hold the top of this ridge well together. That way we can take advantage of our own height bonuses, because, you know, a +6 would be pretty awesome. Let's just rush you right there so you're not blocking the path. And that's both your guns jammed? It is both his guns jammed already. So yeah, even if we can only fire every other round with this avatar, I think it might be worth it so long as we can get some semi-decent accurate shots. So we get to ignore evasion, we get bonuses to accuracy all over the place, and we have 4-ish recoil reduction, which should be helpful in the near future. Top of the turn. And we'll have Finn come along. Finn is a Tactics 10 pilot, so he often gets first move. I kind of want to move him into one of our heavier mechs. I just need to back him up with a little bit better guts. So he has the heat generation perks. And once we get that fully set up, then we can have a little bit of an easier time trying to get him to operate something super heavy. Although maybe not an actual super heavy. So if you try and put any pilot that doesn't have a Tactics 10 into super heavy, you're probably not going to move very fast. Or at least not very early on the initiative track. Having 30 phases of initiative is actually really fun. Moving to the capture zone. Probably should have waited, but hey, I'm impatient and I want to get through the mission. I think we have a pretty winning combination on this one, actually. I was very surprised that a pair of Yenlo Wangs was sort of the main opposition. If there is no, like, second lance that's going to show up for reinforcements, I'm going to be really surprised. Yeah, there's a second lance somewhere. Okay, just get on up here. Let's make sure that we're all together now. Because I don't want to lose my peoples. Question is, where would they drop in? Because they're somewhere on... Oh, dangerous terrain? Inbound dropship? Don't tell me they dropped way over there. That's where we dropped. Also dangerous terrain around there. Okay. Take a walk, take a brace. That'll get rid of our stability problems. And we can now sort of move in and pacify and control the zone. Which makes life so much easier. Move the catapult off the area. That way we're not just directly on top of the building when it starts getting bombarded and they flatten the whole place. Not that that's really a concern, if we're completely honest with ourselves, but it is a nice sort of in-universe lore reason is why I don't want to be right on top of it. And brace. Get rid of all the stability problems that we've been having throughout, all the heat problems that we've been having throughout, and shed all status effects. So we're feeling pretty good. At least mostly good anyway. The Avatar, on the other hand, can just sprint all at once because it's going to do fine. And if it gets shot, I really don't want it to actually take damage. Alright, it looks like we have more hostiles inbound. But we don't know where from. Great. Always love that. Do a quick check around on the sensors. And yep, we got nothing. Alright, we'll just move in. Oh, we've identified. There. So we're looking at a Cronus. Okay, Cronus is, I believe, a 55-ton mech. So nothing too special just yet. But we can start moving to attempt to engage these guys. We've also identified a Archer. Nice pickup if we can grab it. Quasimodo, I want to kill that quick because Quasimodos that we've run into lately have been risk Quasimodos. Although maybe that means we should probably try and steal it. 23%, it's got an ERPPC. Yeah, give it a bit of a headshot. Missed on all of them. Oh, and it's a Heliopolis. I can recognize the silhouette by now. That's how often we fight these things. Yep. A Heliopolis off in the corner. That's going to be fully equipped with artillery. So a nice little counterattack lance. This is certainly something that we kind of have to be careful of. Kind of want to capture most of them. I want to capture the Archer because it's a 70-ton mech. I can sell it for a decent cash. Or I could... And the Quasimodo is indeed equipped with a hyper laser. So he's a risk Quasimodo. Luckily for us, he hit the leg. He didn't hit my very vulnerable engine because I believe I have just a standard... Yeah, it's a standard Intersphere XL engine. So I'm now fielding 2 mechs with Intersphere XLs. Ugh, that feels so wrong. Avatar's going to take a little bit of long-range fire, but nothing too serious. We'll basically turn around and beat the ever-living crap out of him. So reasons to steal the Quasimodo, of course, are going to be all of his advanced kit, which means really the Cronus... Damn, son, what'd you drop me on?
Okay, that hurt.
Yes, it did. Are you the one that has the... Yeah, it's the one-shot arrow, right? So we've dealt with most of that now. So we'll kill the Heliopolis, we'll kill the the Cronus. We want to save the Quasimodo, and we want to save the Archer. Oh, Lament was not designed to just take this kind of damage up front. It was very much designed as a backline support mech, which is why it still has its Inner Sphere XL, and I haven't sort of emphasized the needing in order to place that. I want to steal you two. You're both primitive. Well, you're not primitive. You're sure as heck not primitive. Brace, you got nothing. Coach, bring your catapult. It is the large pulsapult. So the pulsapult has an okay shot right here. By okay shot, I mean pretty terrible, actually. But you are... Is this a targeting problem? I feel it's a targeting problem. Long range, sprinted, target, move, terrain. Move, no vision. It's not a targeting problem, really. Moved is only adding a +1. You know what? Enjoy sensor lock. If I can get some pressure on this Cronus, that would be ideal. Unfortunately, it's not going to happen. But it is the easiest shot, so I'm going to take it in here. Blast him with a couple of beams. Did actually manage to get the target acquisition on him as well. The Warhammer not quite in the best position in order to make this engagement, but I think it ought to work out okay. We are going to be able to maintain a full cover on this one. I do want to kill that Cronus. I don't want to engage the people uphill. Seriously, we are just suffering when it comes to terminal accuracy, but that'll be okay. We'll overcome it once we actually bring the range a little bit in tighter. And I think the enemy knows it. But yeah, that opening salvo with that is really dangerous, and we'd rather not have to deal with it again. Hi, you actually can fight other people upstairs, and you're set to incendiary. Your hag has 4 rounds remaining. Didn't realize I had gone through that many. Oh, it fires twice. Ooh, I may have to get another ton of ammo on you somehow. Well, I know how we'd do it, but... do want to cook the Archer, but I think I want to... Can't see the Quasimodo. Alright, so the Archer's getting some incendiaries. Got 10 more rounds of incendiary to work with. There we go. Enjoy the heat.
Ready for orders.
And the Avatar, not exactly a mech that I want to push too hard.
Roger that.
Because of its stability problems. I don't think it's worth firing into that. Yeah, no, not gonna happen. I will spend the round chilling out, getting my temperature under control. So next round I can just go full ham on autocannons. Round 12, I assume that's either going to be the Heliopolis or the Archer. It is a primitive Archer because we're looking at only 2 LRM-20s and 2 medium lasers. The standard Archer for 3025 is going to have 4 medium lasers and 2 LRM-20s. And then there's all nature of advanced Archers for various things that you want to do. But this is definitely the primitive version. Also the primitive version of the Heliopolis. It's 2 very primitive mechs escorting a risk mech, which is a little bit odd to me. Speaking of, show me... Oh no, I want to save you. I don't want to save you though, so how's our target here? Obstructed terrain, no visual. Can I get you a visual? That might help out a little bit. I mean, it gives me a obstructed shot. I'm looking at... You got no health left in that leg. I don't really have much of a choice though. Yeah, shift over. Get a little bit closer. 60%, that'll do much better. Heliopolis is much worse. And hopefully the Cronus won't be able to touch me at all. So, yeah, ERPPC. Got 2 hits on the Cronus. We can work with that. And then Finn's catapult, it needs to get into range soon. But it's going to take a little while. Is this Quasimodo? It is. We have a line of sight. We're just barely inaccurate. Yeah, there's no point in attempting to do it. Are you being jammed right now? No visual? No, it's just a stack of dozens of status effects. It's almost ridiculous.
Yes, Commander.
Yeah, Howl, I want you to keep pushing this Cronus, and I want you to sort of put yourself out there a little bit more because you happen to be able to tank quite well, and the Cronus is pretty vulnerable. So we're going to full-on Warlord on this one, just in order to make sure we get better accuracy and better damage. And we hit him pretty solidly. That Cronus is having a bit of a bad day, which is good. That's exactly the plan. Kill these 2, capture these 2. Quasimodo because he's got good gear. Archer because he's a big fat payday, really. That's kind of the only main reason. I'm not going to keep a primitive mech around. And also, it's an Archer. What would I do with him? Honestly, the replacement for the Archer would just end up being a replacement catapult, but his missiles are in his arms, not in his... they're not in his things that I care about. His missiles are in his torsos, not his arms. So that just makes it a little bit like I don't want to bother with that. Fire. Got some pulse laser fire onto the Cronus. Getting some good pulse laser fire. Managed to damage his hip. He moved on 25? Really? Wow. He didn't do very much. Shift the Warhammer on forward as well. Again, the Warhammer can be sort of a little bit more out there. It is currently at full health, so I don't mind if they shoot at it so much. And confirm on that one. We're going to go for the full Warlord on the Cronus. Missed with the Gauss rifle and the large laser. So he actually missed with a considerable number of those weapons, which is really depressing. I'm becoming more and more convinced I need to do like basically a total rebuild on that, on the Warlord. It's kind of painful to have to admit to, but the Warhammer has just demonstrated time and time again that it is simply not up to the challenge. All right, Coronis, I'm going to Warlord again on you in order to keep my temperature under control, but mainly also so I can just, well, I'm going to run these racks right on through you. And that was a shot right to his face, which was the worst possible angle that we could have engaged him with racks, but it ended up working quite lovely. We do want to keep pressure up on that Quasimodo if at all possible.
Double time.
Or the Archer. Oh, I have good accuracy on Quasimodo. So, you know what? Incendiaries, yep, shut off the gas rifle. We're going to save the rest of it. See if we can't light him on some fire. Plus 78 heat, that's what I'm looking for. And if we can outspeed him with the catapult with the MMLs, then we can probably cook him on this round, and that'll be a great little pickup. He did outplay shipping to the side and going to lay down some long-range fire, was not able to hit. He did also fire a Thunderbolt and was not able to connect, but his large laser did, which I don't want to happen because this avatar does not have the greatest of health. It is something that very, very concerns me. And a chem laser firing over towards Kerensky's stick. A bit of a waste of fire in my opinion, but hey, he can make whatever choices he desires. So we got some flames kicking up here. The Archer currently on fire. And the Quasimodo standing in front of a fire. The Quasimodo was on 20. Yeah, we should out. I think Finn can beat him. Archer's going to shift on down. And, yep, flooding with missiles. A lot of good hits, unfortunately. So I'm going to have to walk soon with the Avatar. Looks like you broke something, though. Ooh, we turned his blue shield particle dampener on. So the blue shield particle dampener is something that allows you to be more resistant to the incoming damage of PPCs. I don't think that's gonna help him here, since I don't intend to provide PPCs for him to worry about. Switch to Inferno. Do we have any problems with target lock or move? We sprinted. Target terrain, height obstructed, medium range. You know what? Oh, move +1. Yeah, we'll take away that move +1. And we'll go the full sensor lock, just for a little bit of extra kick. Apparently not. Fire. Just give him all the Infernos. It'll be plus 105 heat, and that'll shut the mech completely offline, so we don't even have to worry about him. His attempt to turn on a blue shield particle dampener probably didn't go quite as well as he was hoping for. I do kind of want to steal that Hellstorm cannon. I don't really know what it does. Like, it's a rotary autocannon, except for, you know, artillery. But I kind of would like to be able to take a look at it and see what it can do.
Good to go.
So the Lament can actually stand still and engage. And do you have a target problem? Medium range? No. So just triple tap.
Aye, aye.
Missing 2, hitting 1. Sort of an inverse of what it was supposed to be, but I suppose I can't complain too much. Otherwise I should have fully invested in blasting him with everything I had. The racks are basically ready to go, so I'm going to rush on down here. You're going to engage him head on, because I think you can take him. Just as long as you're careful about it. There we go. I think that was a leg out. That are pretty severe gyro hit. Yep, he's torch and he's cool and flushing actually. Yeah, I'm not gonna let you do that. I'm not gonna let you get away from what is steadily happening to you. Get right on here. Aim on down at the target. And blast away. There we go. Now we're hitting with the gas rifles, and that'll be a full knockdown. This will shove him even further down the initiative stack. It doesn't really matter how low he is on the initiative stack, because he's already at the bottom. And Howl can zip on in here. You know what, Howl? If you want to just for like jokes and giggles, yeah, go for his head. And if you can take that, great. Did you kill his head? Pilot lethal, good job. Although I did have a ballistic computer +++, which would have been nice to steal.
Yes, Commander.
But I will take pilot lethal. All right, let's rush up here, see if we can't take a look at more people's. You are an 87%, but you are cooking pretty bad. So how are you? Yeah, we'll keep you under control. See if we can't light the Archer on all the fire as well. And 159 heat. All right, we have both of the remaining mechs turned off, which means now we can sort of get in on them. Yeah, he's trying to turn back on desperately. It's not going to work, buddy. Trust me. Death Crusade to bring the Lament back on over, because I don't need to touch base anymore, I don't think, because we already did. So the Lament taking the worst amount of damage in this little battle, which, you know, a little bit of a shame, because it's not going to be that expensive to repair, I don't believe, but it is something that is, well, you never want to take too much damage. Inferno's 110 heat, he's cooking a little bit. I'm a little bit more worried about the Quasimodo than I am about other mechs. 10% to shoot. He's at full armor, so I'll see if I can't just pick his head off, although I need a little bit more damage on him before that'll happen. think we missed one. We had like a 90-something% chance of hitting, and we missed one. Right, Kerensky stick, just gonna walk on up, target the Quasimodo's face, and yeah, heavy MRMs. Make him not happy. Another 180 heat and a knockdown, and the pilot still didn't want to get out of the mech. I think he might be crazy. Yeah, we'll take care of it soon. The catapult can move on forward. Don't you have a targeting computer? No, you don't. Also, you're cooking, so chill. Get that damage under control, although we're not going to want to be in this forest anytime soon. We'll walk you. How good is your head accuracy? 16% is actually not bad. How much do you have? Oh, you have almost nothing. Huh. That's really, really tempting. You know what? We'll knock it down to 3 each. Do what you can do. Structure exposed. Head hit, pilot injured. And he's panicking. Those are the things that I want to see. You can sprint on for. As long as you didn't expose the center torso, I'm actually firing. No, you exposed the center torso. Well, I could... no, I don't want to risk it. Don't want to risk it. We're trying to be smart about this capture attempt. Dude, you can keep trying to turn on. I don't recommend that you do. How is your blue field particle dampener even on?
Orders?
Like, I literally don't think that's, like, an allowable thing. Just run out of the way, because we don't want you to light on fire. And Paradox's Warhammer or Death Crusade and the Lament. Yeah, neither of which are currently being used. So just keep coming forward. Make them worried about their lives. It's mainly your job at this point. You're not here to really fight. We've got that mostly narrowed down to just a couple of mechs now. Don't worry. You'll be involved later. When the actual battle comes, but we'd like to steal some stuff right now. We took this one for maximum salvage, and a lot of salvage it will be. But it is something we gotta be careful of. How much health you got in your head? Like 33. You've got 20. Yeah, I'm not gonna risk that.
Waiting for orders.
And then Finn in the catapult. Finn is gonna aim for this arm in order to make the least amount of chance that it'll hit anything else. Gonna turn both of them onto maximum inferno and see if we can't get the pilot to want to bail. Double heat sink destroyed, 205 heat, and he's out of there. Good. Alright, so we've got the Quasimodo fully stolen. The fire control risk and all that we don't really care about. The key is... Well, actually, we kind of care about it. Shouldn't say that. But now Kerensky's stick will walk up and basically knock this fool over. Yeah, all of them incendiaries. Light them up. And... apparently we got a penetration with an LRM ammunition explosion. Well, that sucks. The original intention was to steal it for a payday, but apparently that's not going to happen because we blew it to smithereens. We got a little bit carried away with that mech. Oh. I need another ton of hyper-assault gas ammo if I'm going to keep that. The alternative is to go over to the Ultra-Autocannon clan, which the Ultra-Autocannon clan would probably give you a little bit better flexibility in terms of just overall capability, but it would lose some range. Lament is going to require a little bit of patch job. A couple of the catapults took almost no damage, but that artillery in the end was just painful. Right, so 1, 2, 3, 4... Oh, we got, oh yeah, all 5 parts of the Heliopolis. Now, it is the primitive version, but that might be a thing to grab. Arrow 4, 1 shot, no thank you. 2 Hellstorm artillery, so this weapon does 3 shots for 30. Rotary howitzer capable of firing 1 to 6. Okay, so it's 30 damage per shot, 18 damage... or 18 tons for this whole deal. Weapon has a recoil of 2. Area of effect within 60 meters of impact. Area of effect damage 30 to secondary targets. It's a lot of tonnage. I'm not sure I can really justify that. That's really expensive to try and make work. Laser rifle was the purple beam. Medium pirate heavy lasers. Does this give me an increase in damage? It does not. So I don't really need that either. The medium X-pulses, on the other hand, I could build into something interesting. I may not take mech parts at all on this one. There is the blue shield particle dampener. So, plus 30% resistance against energy-based attacks when active. It should just be PPCs, but apparently it's all energy. Minus 1 accuracy, plus 9 heat, 10% chance of failure, 15% additional failure. Deals critical self on failure, and... yeah. I mean, I don't think I'd use it. There's a Centurion that has that as built-in equipment, but I don't think that I'm ever going to find myself needing it. Endocomposite. Let's see, 20% structure cost increase, 30% repair bill, minus 25% compared to... oh, this is a 50 structure weight. Fewer slots, that's what it is. Okay. A light engine could be useful, although we have been using Clan XLs whenever we can. A Gyro XL, I have 3 of them, so I'm actually good on Gyro XLs at the moment. Radical prototype or radical heatsink kit double. Definitely need these. These are great pieces of equipment, and I'd like to have always two whenever I can. Upper recoil plus. I need that for the Avatar. And some sniper ammunition for the sniper guns. I don't need them. So yeah, I think we'll go with this. Oh yeah, it was a hyper laser. It was 2 medium X pulses and a hyper, but I don't need that. So lock it in. So we got the Centurion, 2 Cronus parts, the Heliopolis part, and the Quasimodo part. Got the one-shot arrow for artillery for whatever that's going to be worth to us. How much is this? It's 1 ton. Yeah, may just we were throwing onto a mech for random reasons. ER medium laser, the couple of medium pulses, a C3 slave, the good fusion core, which is not bad, and TBM-10. Kind of was hoping that we were to get our hands on the sniper ammunition, because I believe I have a sniper cannon, just no ammo for it, because we don't really use it. Because I don't really have a need for artillery mechs at the moment, although with us about to get to 8 slots sometime soon, that may end up changing. Next couple of upgrades we're going to have to take are going to be for the final 8th slot of actually fielding stuff, and then the 8th mech control limit, and then we'll finish off the tonnage requirements on the Leopard to finish off the second Leopard build entirely, when then we can start focusing on other things. So 115,000, jeez. That was painful in many, many ways. But we have some mech parts that we can now sell. That'll help recover some of our costs on this one. So come over to the mech bay.
Welcome to the grease pit, Commander.
Thank you. I am also currently holding onto a bushwhacker, which I can probably sell at some point. We're never going to build a Quasimodo unless we build it all in one go. And I don't really have much of an interest in building a super hunchback. Doesn't really speak to me. You're just the normal AH. We didn't get any yellow wang parts, not that it really matters, and I'm not really interested in Heliopolis at the moment. So that'll put us up to well over 1 million Zeebles, and I can just pretty much at any moment, should I feel the need, sell the bushwhacker, and that'll be ready, and yeah, that'll be 900,000. So not bad at all. Come over to the store, because we should be in Tortugan space, see what the faction shop's looking like today. See how many folks had decided that they wanted to play. And we got some Cyclopses and a Gauntlet. We're not really interested in the Gauntlet, if I'm completely honest, because we already have one. Cyclops would be really cool, but it's only a single part anyway. So even if we were able to make the 5 or so million C-bills, we wouldn't be able to get the whole thing. Nothing useful in ballistics. A plasma cannon P for pirate. 15/15 for 10 tons. What? 70% bonus to damage against overheated targets. Plasma residue increases target heat generation by 15%. Weapon heat and damage stability falls off. Oh, is this the one that has a built-in? No, that's the plasma exclamation point. It's an area of effect plasma gun? How much is it? 800,000. That's a little too rich for me. I don't really see that being good. And Flamer Prometheus, I'd love to get my hands on one of these. These are like even bigger flamers. So, it'd be nice, but not going to happen. Missiles, I could always use more heavy ammunition. Unfortunately, it's Apollo ammo, which I kind of don't like compared to Listen Kill, because I get basically the same results, and I don't have to require to put the mech in Artemis 4 TTS. So if the Artemis 4 is on there, then it becomes a little bit more useless. Heavy flamer ammunition, I don't think I have enough heavy flamers to actually use it. Also jump jets, or heat generation in general. The heat bank would be nice, but it's too expensive. I don't need it that badly. Especially because I'm not building much of an energy mech at the moment. Although I'm slowly accruing X-Pulse lasers for a reason. There's a reason why I'm trying to steal these Quasimodos intact, because of those X-Pulses. Endosteel, Warfare Suite, Fire Control System Standard. Yeah, nothing too special on this one. It's part of a Battle Control Artemis, which we don't have and we could use, but kind of want to buy another one of these. Requires clan armor. I didn't know that, but I can make that work. They weigh half a ton as compared to the full ton of a inner sphere case, and they reduce damage to 3, which is really useful. I'm gonna do this. Gonna buy just the one. Just one. Alright. So we're in a pretty solid position right now. Let's go see how our mechs shook out. The Lament is going to be a 7-day repair, which we were kind of expecting. We've got a whole bunch more repairs. The Marauder is another 19 days away, 20 days before the Screamer Lime's even going to be fieldable or usable. And of course, our Thanatos is another 8 or so days out. The Avatar only took about 2 days worth of damage. He can also go to the top because he's the other longest one. But yeah, we'll be able to finish and repair these mechs really quick. Get our pilots done, get most of our mechs done. So that clears out most of our backlog. We just got a couple of our long-term projects in the field now. Come over to the mech bank and take a look. None of them had any lasting damage. I think the Avatar's proven itself. That was pretty impressive, actually. Do I want to make any modifications to it? So I've given it every single thing that I can to try and improve the gunnery on it to hopefully reduce the recoil. So it has the gunnery, has the rangefinder on here for the additional sight range, but mostly because it gives me the additional gunnery. If I have a cockpit system for a life support gunnery, then we're going to start throwing all of those in there, because that's just going to be incredibly important. If I had a D9 cockpit 1, I might look into that as well, because the main point at this moment is to try and resolve some of the problems that it's going to have. Although we did pick up a upper recoil plus. Now the reason I'm not using weapon mounts, and I would love to use weapon mounts, but it can't fit. Unfortunately, the weapon mounts are lower arm actuators, and the Avatar doesn't have a lower arm actuator, which actually doesn't make it a phenomenal like gunnery platform. But like this, we can actually make that work, and that's it's not a free repair. It's 1800, but it's free in terms of tonnage because it weighs as much as this one. So this will give us the -1 to recoil and a +1 accuracy now to help out instead of just the -1 recoil. And it makes things look a little bit more symmetrical. One thing I did want to do though with those two cases was to come on over in here and give me, they're from here, the two clan cases. Unfortunately, I can't do that right now. I would have to utilize my clan endosteel to go into there, which would then go into either clan ferro or glazed, which I could do that as well. But clan ferro fibers for the light space, and then I could fit in the pair of cases. This would actually give me a whole ton more tonnage to play with. 2.5 tons. I could probably max armor and then some. So I'm not quite sure what I'd do with it. Probably I would need to find a replacement for this Beagle probe. But if I were to do that, I could maximize the tonnage and still have a 1/4 ton left over. So I don't know what I'd replace anything with. I have basically a 1/4 ton just sitting on the table that I can do anything I want with, but no slots to fill anything with. So I'd need a replacement for the Beagle probe, preferably a clan version, which I don't have at the moment. So, but a clan version in order to cut down the size on that, or a Nova CEWS, a clan version of it, a combined electronic warfare suite, which would basically be the Guardian and the Beagle in one package. And I believe the clan version is either like 1 or 2 slots big, and it'd be lighter. It would open up a couple more slots, and I'd be able to throw on, honestly, I don't know, I'd be able to throw on something, some sort of gun or cannon, a laser most likely, maybe a targeting system of some description. But yeah, the Avatar is going to get the replacement on that recoil actuator for now, and nothing else. But yeah, definitely is protected by the case 2 on this one. That was a major concern of mine. It was, how am I going to make sure that I don't blow this mech up immediately? Yeah, that'll be a nice little pickup in terms of accuracy. So this will be even more accurate and capable, although the range is a little bit lighter than I thought it was. I figured it was going to be basically I could shoot from almost Gauss rifle range, but that clearly is not the case. So we'll wait one more day just to make sure that he's all cycled up. Actually, we'll wait.
Hey boss.
Engine upgrades complete. Give me one more day for the limit. And stop. So we got the Thanatos, the Screamer, and the Marauder coming in the next... Well, the Thanatos is going to be ready in the next 4 days, which this is our first experiment with direct fire artillery. We're still waiting for a couple of special equipment pieces. But once this thing is done in another 4 days, this will be another great pickup for us, because that's another like 75-ton mech. Is it 70 or 75? Show me the Thanatos. There, yeah, it is a 75-ton mech. So it's already looking really badass. I'm pretty happy with how it's turned out. It should be a nice addition to the company and sort of continuing that sort of flex roll capability. We're talking the 4 lasers, the MML package over here, which I believe I have several incendiaries for. I think a texture's wonking out a little bit on that one. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, the texture's going a little bit crazy. I should report that. This is a heavy silver bullet Gauss rifle, which apparently is direct fire artillery, which ought to be kind of interesting to actually use once we get a chance to actually use it. But yeah, the textures unfortunately look like they're wigging out a little bit. There's missile tubes all over the place. So this will be another great pickup. So we're really sort of sliding into having a really comfortable lineup for a lot of weapon systems. I may just junk the Catawacker as well. We're really moving away from it. We're definitely getting into a nice heavyweight champion setup here. And we're going to have to sort of plan for the future in the near time. Maybe you have to start making some larger strategic moves to start hunting down specific mechs. But that's going to do it for today's episode. I've been Tarek. If you like what you're seeing, hit that like button and subscribe. If you want to receive a notification every time I post these videos, press that little bell icon, leave a comment, and make sure you join us for our streams on Saturdays and Wednesdays at 4 o'clock as we play through Apollo's Vipers, a clan start version of this campaign, which has been radically different as we continue to march along to the beat of the Gausslers, 4 Gauss rifles blasting away. And I will see you all in the next episode.